I'm sure we've all heard by now, maybe through our friends and peers, that if they were to ever get into a fight, that they just see red and then go crazy like Wolverine and then turn into like a superhuman. Like, even though they haven't trained before, that somehow they're just gonna bulldoze like a 280-pound guy or something like that. But in today's video, I actually want to show you real transformation that kickboxing and just fighting MMA in general has taught me, and what the paradox is from what I thought fighting was to what I think of it now, doing it for decades. All right, guys, my name's Chris. Welcome back to Sicat Kickboxing Club. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, like this channel if you've been, or like this video. If you've been following me for a while, share this to anyone that wants to learn the art of kickboxing, self-defense, or violence, even though I don't condone it, but here we are. And also check out my podcast. I do a podcast with pro fighters, hobbyists, and kickboxers, wrestlers, jiu-jitsu, and you could get real value out of that. And it's also a self-improvement podcast, just kind of actually like this video. So the biggest difference, guys, I want to tell you a little bit a story that before when I actually started fighting in general. So from high school, I was one of those, I guess you could say football jocks, or I hung around with them. I was in the junior varsity team over here in Vegas. And the thing was that, yeah, we weightlifted and we did all these things, and you know, you're part of the jocks, so you know, you got a crew with you, you think you're all cool, and then, you know, with the cheerleaders, with the girls and stuff like that. And why I point that out is that along with that, being, I guess you could say, as a primal man, you know, at that time, especially when I was younger, I had thought that I can pretty much fight. I thought just being a man, I thought that for some reason, personally for me, I thought that fighting just came automatically when you were born. Like, you know, as you grow up, you're like, you get these fantasies in your head and you're saying to yourself, yeah, I mean, if I got in a fight, I've watched a lot of videos, so I could probably take that guy on, you know? And that's exactly what I thought, because man, I was strong. I was a running back and I lifted weights. You know, I hung around with the cool kids that were strong and powerful and huge. And that's not to say that attributes don't matter. Oh, they matter a lot. Trust me, your genetics and how you're built and the way you weight lift, they matter a lot in fighting. Don't tell you any otherwise, even if someone does like jiu-jitsu or grappling. And I know it's like a flow art and, you know, it's one of those arts that smaller guys could take on bigger guys. But don't get it twisted. If you had a bigger guy that was just as skilled as a smaller guy, I'd almost bet on the bigger guy every time, okay? With a lot of caveats to that, but you know what I mean. So one thing I want to talk about in this video is that what I thought fighting was compared to what I think it is now, okay? And what I mean is that I started fighting because I thought it was just cool. I saw the likes of Manny Pacquiao. I grew up with that era with Manny Pacquiao, Mike Tyson. And I just thought it was the coolest thing being a guy that I was like, yeah, I want to really mess people up. And, you know, and at that time when I was a kid, maybe it was like the culture that I was in, or maybe, you know, I was just very naive, obviously, that I was like, yeah, you know, I want to be able to take on anyone. And don't get it twisted. I wasn't a bully over there. Like, I wasn't going around pushing kids around. I know I told you I hung out with the jocks, but I was actually very, very nice, honestly. And I was very timid when it came to talking to girls and, you know, all that stuff. Just a little bit of background so you know what I was about. I never wanted to bully anyone, but I thought that being as strong and the crowd that I hung out with, that I can fight, okay? That I could completely just tear someone up by just grabbing them and then putting them to the ground and maybe just start hitting them with the wrong technique for some reason. So I got a true reality check, okay? This one time in high school, because we used to get fights in high school. Yes, it was a different time back then. And that should show you the kids that I hung around with and, you know, whatever my environment. But yeah, I remember getting to this fight. Me and this kid had some quote unquote beef. And then we got into a fight after school. We decided to meet at this park. next to my house. So I go in there, and all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, all right, man, it's time, you know? And this guy was about my size, you know, about 5'5". He was the same bone structure, I guess you could say, or the same body built as me. So I thought I was just gonna clean him out. But when the fight started, he got me in a headlock, and that's all she wrote. He got me in a headlock, I didn't know how to get out of it, and then he just kept rabbit punching me like this. And I was like, I feel so helpless right now, and I feel so embarrassed because all my friends are watching me and some girls are watching me. And after the fight, I just felt like demoralized. Like I just felt like crap, for full transparency. And the thing is with that is that's kind of when I had like the epiphany of, man, you know what? That's never gonna happen to me again. And yeah, I gotta learn this kind of stuff. So that's actually when I started doing a little bit of like martial arts, and it wasn't inconsistent back then, but ultimately that's what led me to be consistent. That's why I'm telling you this story, because it's still kind of like traumatizing a little bit. And so when that happened, I started learning martial arts, and then you know, in my last videos, I've told a little bit about my story about how I was an alcoholic throughout my 20s. I was kind of like that party boy, and you know, I was a functioning alcoholic, meaning I'd get up and do my thing. But yeah, I drank like pretty much every night. And that's actually one of the transformations that I'm gonna talk about, that what kickboxing and martial arts did for me. So what I thought martial arts was I thought that I was just gonna go around being the toughest guy in the room, but it actually was counterintuitive to that. It was a paradox to where, honestly, I don't wanna fight anymore compared to how I did before, right? So when you first wanna learn martial arts, it's because it's for an intention, meaning that you want to do martial arts because, I don't know, I mean, I hate to say this, but then it's almost like you have the intention of hurting someone. You know, you watch too many movies, so it's kind of like, oh, you want to be like a superhero, right? You want to defend people, and that's completely fine. It's just you have this distorted view of why you want to do martial arts. And it is a motive, but eventually when you start training martial arts, that's not actually what you do it for. So what I mean is that, so say when I started lifting, right? When I started lifting weights, I actually wanted to do it for like, to get more dates and to go on dates with more women, and eventually like get a girlfriend and all that stuff. But then when I started working out, I actually just wanted to do it just because it was just pure, it just made me feel good. It just made me feel really, really good. And then that's how I carried on from there. The initial reason that I wanted to lift weights wasn't for that reason anymore after I got into the habit of lifting weights. Now, I just felt good about myself. I liked the way I felt. I actually got a lot of compliments, which even at that, when you get more compliments, yeah, it's great feedback to know that you're going towards a good direction or towards your goals. But now it's kind of like you're used to it, and it's kind of like breathing. Not to say that, you know, compliments are great, but it's kind of like, oh, okay, thank you, because you kind of hear it all the time. Now they ask you for what kind of workouts you do. They'll compliment you on, oh, well, you have, you know, really big arms and stuff like that. But to me, I thought that's what I wanted. I thought I wanted the glory of it, and I thought that I wanted to get all the compliments and the notoriety of it. But I actually just feel good working out overall, and it made me lose weight. It made me lose, a lot of body fat, and it made me feel good about myself. So saying that, relating to kickboxing, it's the same thing. When I wanted to fight and I wanted to like, yeah, mess this guy up. If someone was to mess with me, then I could really tear him up. Actually, honestly, I don't care for that anymore. Like, that was way long gone, because I've been training it for so long. Number one, because I know what I could do to a person. Number two, I don't want to face the consequences of whatever, like say if I get into like a street fight, I don't want to face those consequences. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to hurt anyone, honestly. You know, that's the other paradox of it, is that you think you do when you first start. If you completely don't know about fighting, you think that, oh yeah, it's so cool to like, not cool, but you know, to be able to manhandle anyone or hurt someone that's messing with you. But actually, you actually just want to avoid it because you train so much at the gym, right? Like I'm training so much at the gym, I let it all out at the gym, and I spar and I fight over there, that I don't even want to do it anymore when I'm outside of the gym. You know, I mean, it's my life, don't get me wrong. It's just, I know that there's a lot of things that will, I'm not just a fighter, you know, like I'm a son to a father. I have great relationships, I have great friendships, right? And I'm more than just my identity. So that's actually the caveat. And you know, what fighting really did for me was it got me in shape, besides the fighting aspect of it, but it also transformed my life because, as I said, when you get in shape and when you learn fighting, it's about your demeanor at this point. It's not about like, oh yeah, I want to mess this guy up, or even how you look. Like, I know that it's an external part of our well-being. Like, we externally want to look good, we want to present our best selves to other people, but it actually is more internal, and that's where true happiness comes from. It doesn't matter what you buy, that's external, right? It doesn't matter like what you could do to someone when you learn how to fight, that's external. The internal part is you feeling confidence about yourself, and you growing your self-esteem so that you learn to love yourself, okay? That's really the main transformation in this video. And the thing is that, you know, when you lose, say if you lose weight through the art of kickboxing, you get more confident, you learn self-defense, and you don't have your head down, slouched down, and you're like shoulders down like this, and you're walking, you know, not to like show off, but then you're just walking, you know, confidently. It does change your whole demeanor about you, and it changes pretty much your life because it's just vibes, right? It's just vibes. Quick fun fact is that in evolutionary psychology, people will judge you when you walk into a room, like immediately without even saying a word. Nonverbal communication is so key to what people think about you. And I get it, you shouldn't care, it's none of your business what other people care about you. But honestly, as a human, like as a biological human, you do, because we're socialized. It's evolutionary. Again, it's evolutionary biology and it's evolutionary psychology that we do tend to care what other people think. But when you start implementing kickboxing, weightlifting, or whatever it may be, you start transforming your life, it internalizes within you, and you don't even have to show off anymore, right? You start losing weight, and then it's what I call a snowball effect. When you start losing weight, you start to eat better, you start to get more consistent, not only in your physical actions, you start to get more consistent. When you don't want to get up, you just make it a part of your identity. So that's part of your, what I'm talking about with internalization. It goes into your identity, and then you get to wake up. You wake up regardless if you're tired, and you just do the damn thing. You go to class, you practice Muay Thai. It's just you, right? It's just what you do now as a human being, because it keeps you healthy. It makes you eat right. It makes you have better relationships and all that. And I like this quote, I'll end with this, is that I like this quote by Jim Rohn. He's like this entrepreneur, billionaire, rest in peace. He recently passed away, but he's this motivational speaker. And he's always said that, I'll take care of me so I can take care of you, and you take care of you so you can take care of me. It's kind of like that oxygen mask in a plane. You have to put your own oxygen mask first before you actually help someone put on theirs, so that you're well and good, right? So yeah, that's the trickle up effect of learning martial arts. You feel more confidence, kickboxing, you feel more confident about yourself. Again, your posture, right? Like I was talking about, people look into that. And you yourself, psychologically, when you have your body postured up and then you're working out, you look good, you feel comfortable under your own skin, it just changes your whole mindset about yourself. So I would convince you more than you wanting to learn self-defense, which is great actually, because everything kind of connects together, is that you do it for your well-being. And yeah, that's it for this video. Like this video if you got value out of it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Share this video with anyone that wants to learn the art of kickboxing. It really helps me out. It helps out with the algorithms. I love providing these videos for you. And also check out the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to that one too. And I will see you on the next one.